the most cheesy Terran player in all of Korea. Well, actually, now that Ziggy's in Korea, it might be different.
True.
Versus MeomaikA, the most cheesy Zerg player potentially in the world.
Oh yeah, this is a real treat. And coming into today, coming in today, I was really looking forward to watching these two play. I was worried because we went for a different series, but it looks like the stars have aligned.
I am so glad. What a magical day we have today as we jump into Tropical Sacrifice. No Ellie, no ESL. I just have to pause. In the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we of course have our red Terran player throwing out the hearts with the G's and the L's and the H's and the F's. Representing Preppy Sports, he is HonMonO.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing the Juggernauts. He is the king of Southeast Asia. It is MeomaikA.
Rocking that 2022 champion decal.
Oh, true. Yeah. Cyril is rocking out there. I feel like Cyril is the polar opposite of MeomaikA, but
yeah, pretty much. No, this is all part of MeomaikA's signals. Because Cyril, he's trying to subliminally influence him.
True. He's trying to get inside the mind and try and tempt him with his ways. And speaking of his ways, I believe, yes, MeomaikA did open up pool first, as he usually does against Terran. And we did see a lot of this last week. I believe the finals was MeomaikA versus Keen. So we've seen a lot of MeomaikA's versus Terran. MeomaikA was even able to take down players like Nicaract, so great European Terrans in their own right. But how does he do against someone who is very off meta, who's very just unusual in his own way?
Oh, I think this is where MeomaikA thrives. It's like, finally, a worthy opponent.
Oh my god, it's gonna be insane, mate. Already things are quite crazy. HonMonO hasn't gone for an SCV scout, but I'm sure MeomaikA has a reputation, and HonMonO goes for a high ground expansion.
Yeah, just keeping things safe. Well, I say that, but yeah, he's definitely risking quite a bit with that wall that he's got over here.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the first Reaper goes across the map. MeomaikA sees it with the Overlord, and he avoids the Reaper, so the Lings are going to be coming in. But unfortunately, there's nothing on the low ground for them to harass. There is no building SCV, so HonMonO doesn't get punished.
Well, that's one perspective. I would say that building on the high ground is already punishing yourself.
True. But he called it right that it was going to be a pool first, so he, I mean... kind of. Oh my, he's going for a 3rd CC.
You love to see it. 3 CC before starport. He's playing this out about as greedy as possible against a player who loves when their opponents play as greedy as possible.
Yeah.
What a madman.
He's crazy, puppy. He's crazy. I mean, we'll see if he can get away with it. Again, MeomaikA hasn't scattered anything yet. He doesn't know how HonMonO is playing. And because HonMonO also has a reputation of being hyper aggressive and being really off meta, I mean, MeomaikA, this is maybe the last thing that he would expect.
Yeah. As a wise man once said, the cheesiest thing that you can do is to not.
Oh yeah. I mean, Haas learned that, and we'll see if any of these players learn that the hard way here, as it is a 3CC opener, but into 2 Raxes from here, so HonMonO is going to have a lot of bio to work with. Stim is already on the way. We'll see if he goes for, if he tries to line this up a little bit and maybe go for a Hellbat push together, or if he's still going to be committed and going into a starport for Medivacs. Yeah, I'm really curious where he goes from here.
Yeah, well, it's definitely swapping the add-ons around. Starport now being made. So it's essentially a 2-on-1, but I gotta tell you, I don't think I've seen any player go 2-on-1 in this particular manner.
Yeah.
Safest replay.
It's a 3CC 2-1-1. Interesting because
Saying
of the
that 10 times fast.
because of the 3cc opener, it does mean that he won't be able to hit his timing as crisply because obviously the medevacs are going to be delayed. But maybe he's going to be able to make up for that in another way. Meanwhile, MeomaikA responded beautifully against the 3cc build by going for double evos.
Oh yeah, he's matching that greed with his own greed. A different type of greed, but greed nonetheless.
Yeah.
I like that word, greed.
Exactly. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, oh my god, he just dives on in. He catches 2 of these Hellions, and he's going to catch the rest as well. Wow, off of creep, he just shuts down any kind of map presence that HonMonO has.
Exactly. I was actually going to praise HonMonO quite a bit here for going for the Hellions like this, knowing that he's going to delay his 2-1-1 push, you know, so at least he would have some kind of map control and some kind of map presence, but once those Hellions got caught in the middle of the map, everything was forfeit. MeomaikA is free to just not get too much done here. Thankfully for HonMonO, he was able to wall off just at the last second, but still, MeomaikA can just pretty much do whatever he wants without fear of any kind of... What's the word I'm thinking of here, Light? Retribution? No, that's...
Repercussions?
Team. Repercussions!
Yeah,
That's...
yeah.
No, that's... No, wait, I was thinking of reciprocity. I still don't know how to say that word.
What do you say?
Remember that team? That old gaming sponsored?
Ah, yes. I don't know.
Caddy.
Oh my god,
I don't know what I was thinking of as repercussion.
It's all, yeah.
Well, no, I was thinking of
Retribution?
reciprocati, but
Reciprocating?
repercussion makes it better. Reciprocating. There we go. I know.
It's all good.
You know?
It's all good, man. It's all good. MeomaikA is double expanding behind the ceiling, his 4th and 5th base at the same time because of his double evo chambers. His lair is a little bit late, so 2-2 is going to be a little bit delayed, but regardless, he's going to be massively ahead in those upgrades. The drop is coming on in, but at the same time, MeomaikA does hit that 3rd.
And that's the majority of HonMonO's forces out in the middle of the map. He's going for a little bit of a base trade, and this is what happens when you don't have Overlord speed. Or Banelings.
Yeah.
Or anything, really.
Oh
no, he's attacking his own!
Oh my god. He's attacking his own, but at the same time, a tank goes down. Those 1-1 Lings against 0-0 Marines did a surprising amount of damage. I was worried that maybe we would need some Banelings, but no Banelings were required whatsoever. No mining here at the 3rd base. MeomaikA defends, only losing a couple of Overlords. And this is the MeomaikA of old. The Madman, there is no Baneling nest. He's going Ling Hydra.
You love to see it, or at least I do, Light. He's gonna have no splash damage whatsoever, and this is one of those rare scenarios where I have to imagine that it's actually better for him to do this. I mean, not better than going Ling Bane. I mean, Banelings are pretty good, but it's better than what he normally does when he does go for Ling Hydra. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like this is going to work out beautifully. For those wondering, MeomaikA used to do this all the time back in 2020, early 2021 as well, going for just Hydra Ling and hitting these really awkward timings. Bearing in mind, he already killed 1 tank, and without tanks, it's really difficult to kind of defend against this kind of style.
Yeah, especially with the Hydras. Ooh, that was a kill and not a cancel. On top of one of those barracks. Now, the upgrades have evened out here for HonMonO, so he's having a much easier time fighting with all these Lings. And this time, the fight goes pretty far in the favor of HonMonO, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not going to mean much in the long run if MeomaikA is able to remax.
Yeah, he's going to hit a very strong 2-2 timing. Bearing in mind, he double expanded earlier, and now his drone count's looking pretty good. He's got 68, had 69 drones. Nice. Oh my god, and again, with these Lings and with these Hydras, he's going to be able to shut this down, and we'll see how good the defensive position is going to be here. We have a tank on the high ground, tank on the low ground. Not bad, don't get me wrong. Oh boy, but we have seen MeomaikA break even stronger positions.
And indeed, we have. Just keep thinking back to that one game he had on Cosmic Sapphire. Of course, it was ZvT, but still.
Yeah, he makes wonders happen, mate. MeomaikA is droned up to 80 workers, 78 now that he did throw down 2 more bases, double expanding once again. He
refuses to expand one at a time, does he?
He's crazy. He's crazy.
He's really starting to embrace his inner Haas.
He really is. Meanwhile, ooh, this is not a trade that MeomaikA wants to take right now. 1, 2, 3 Hydras are going to get picked off here. These are expensive losses. Hydras, it's kind of like the hero style of Blink Stalkers, where you need these Hydras to build up over time, because MeomaikA, he is done droning and he's not getting a hide.
Yeah, this is very worrisome. Not only is he not going to be going for lurkers, it also means that he's not going to be going for 3-3 at all. Doesn't matter in the end, though, because these uber exposed tanks immediately go down. That one tank remaining, actually throwing in a little bit of friendly fire. A lot of SCVs are starting to go down, and HonMonO is forced to send the Bioforce he had on the map all the way back home. He is taking so many losses.
Yeah, exactly. MeomaikA, knowing that there was a double drop out there, knew that his tanks of his opponent was going to be exposed. There weren't a lot of Marines here whatsoever. MeomaikA does hit his timing. Third base goes down. So does everything else. There's one tank remaining here for HonMonO. Only one. And it looks like HonMonO may be able to hold on to his natural, but MeomaikA literally has the rest of the map.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still a little bit worrisome for MeomaikA because it didn't look like he was going to be teching up from here, but he throws down the infestation pit. He's still going to get 3-3. He's still going to get into his late game regardless. HonMonO, meanwhile, he gets out of this with his tank count reset, losing all of those supply depots, an entire mineral line worth of SCVs. He spent all his energy on these CCs, on these mules, and that's all he has remaining, pretty much.
That's all he's got, and that's all he has to work with. And I'm really curious to see what MeomaikA does with this. Like, he is going up to Hive, but if you remember, the way that he used to play this out is Ling Hydra into Infestors, and he would rely on Fungals to really shut down this Bio army, but he may not need it. Just because of how far ahead he is.
Yeah, and he's actually going straight into Hive. They're producing any of those Infestors, which is kind of curious.
Yeah, he may just be committed to Ling Hydra and just go for 3-3. 3-3 is on the way for HonMonO. He has been able to keep up with his upgrades, don't get me wrong. But again, HonMonO is down almost 80 supply. This drop, it's gonna do a lot.
That one medevac, man. It's so low and so full. It's so full, but so low.
Oh my god. Thankfully,
it's
there's
like
only links here. I thought they were like Hydras coming to intercept or something.
Yeah. But these Lings can still get a really nice surround on top of these Marines. They're hugging a wall, but, you know, inevitably they're going to have to get picked up or go down. Either go up or go down.
Yeah, I can't explain that, mate. There it is. 3-3's on the way. Oh, Ultra's on the way as well. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, it does kind of work well. Trade well there with all those melee upgrades. Meanwhile, are we even going to need them because we see another full surround here? The Lings get on top of the tanks. Tanks go down. The Bio trades incredibly efficiently, and HonMonO holds.
Yeah, didn't even need a 3-3 for that. That is the power of just, you know, being able to have all of your Marines shooting at once. I like this from MeomaikA. The MeomaikA of old would have committed to that, but once he saw that his Ling buffer expired, he retreated, and he regroups. Yeah,
again, MeomaikA, he doesn't really care about his Lings. He's just making sure his core group of Hydras are kept alive throughout all of this. That is kind of the meat, the backbone of his army, at least until the Ultras come out, and those upgrades are on the way. Ultra Cavern is now done, and MeomaikA's looking for another big engage. Earlier, he did kill a lot of tanks. Now he goes for this full surround.
Yeah, well, a pseudo full surround. Yeah, a little bit heavier on one end than the other. He's able to get a couple of tanks, is able to shave off a little bit of the bio, but now HonMonO has a lot of momentum behind him.
Yeah, he does. He tries to stim one forward and dive on top of these Hydras, but 6 Ultras are on the way, and look how heavily battered and bruised the army is, and the medevacs are as well. They are running out of energy, even though he's been able to trade relatively well against the Lings because of the economy of MeomaikA. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, he doesn't need to trade efficiently, MeomaikA, I mean.
Yeah.
Buying himself a little bit of time here, trying to set up a really full surround. 3-3 is not done quite yet. Still going to take a couple of seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. The Ultras reveal themselves. The tanks go down immediately. The medevacs are out of energy, and they're being picked off one after the other by all of these Hydras. And a bit of an anti-timing. Kindness plating isn't done yet, so the kiting is pretty good here from HonMonO, but how far can he kite?
Pretty dang far. I mean, he was on the other side of the map. He kites all the way back home, and finally is able to deal with those Ultralists. I was going to say, this was a good idea from MeomaikA because of how HonMonO was building an anti-Hydra army. He wasn't building any Ghosts. He has only a handful of Marauders here, but that execution is definitely lacking a little bit. I say that, but he's just immediately remaxed, so
That's the thing, right? Like, because of the economy, it's actually crazy that MeomaikA can afford all of this off of very few gases. I mean, I guess he has all that he needs. Everything else is on minerals. He's remaxing on lings, on ultras, rebuilding, and now this time he has kindness plating. Again, it was a really weird fight earlier with the ultras. Like, the fight ended, all the ultras died, and then kindness plating finished. So a little bit smudged there, but MeomaikA is now ready to go again.
Yeah, oh no, this was the base from the main. This was the base from the main, and MeomaikA is just gonna take a hatchery right in its face anyway. And it's gonna die anyway.
It gets targeted down by all those Hydras. Meanwhile, as the Lings go down, the Hydras have to back on up. The Ultras were kind of derping towards the southern side of the map, so they weren't really helping out too much. Again, HonMonO is trading so incredibly efficiently.
76 links on the way.
It's crazy, Poppy. It's crazy.
That's, again, we mentioned this a couple of times, but it really cannot be overstated. MeomaikA's greed is paying off big time for him. He has such a stupid economy.
He really does, mate. Meanwhile, we see a massive Doomsbrook going all the way into the main base. There's no anti-air to stop him. The Hydras are across the map. But MeomaikA just killed the third base, and now here we go. The hopes and dreams of HonMonO are in the main of Meo.
HonMonO has basically no mining right now, but maybe if he can kill enough structures. No, what am I saying? I'm huffing that copium hard.
You're on that copium, mate. I mean, again, this is just as efficiently as he can trade the Hydras and start stepping forward. The Ultras are stuck behind the Hydras as well, but GG.
MeomaikA takes that game, despite how efficiently HonMonO was able to trade. I gotta say, like, as interesting as the openings were, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't go into, you know, complete madness that game.
That was crazy. I mean, it still was crazy, but I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was pretty dang crazy, but, you know, not insanely crazy. And with that, yeah, I mean, we wanted to get into the series for a reason. I mean, we were worried that we wouldn't be able to get it, but that one game, we haven't even gotten into game 2 yet. Like, we have just one game into this best of 3 series, and that pretty much exemplifies why we wanted to jump into it so much.
Oh yeah, again, these two players are crazy in their own right, and I really liked how HonMonO opened up, because like he was looking really good. He was looking really good going for that CC on the high ground. He wasn't punished for the pull first or anything like that. Yeah, like the way that they were kind of matching up against each other, I kind of liked how HonMonO started, but like this Ling Hydra timing was crazy, and it's something that you only see from MeomaikA.
Yeah, you definitely do. And I'm seeing a little bit of chat here. A couple of people just only now getting initiated into the cult of the cat god.
Yeah, again, for those wondering, MeomaikA, he just has his own style of play, and he makes it work. You know, he's beaten Maru 2-0 before. Like, that's just, yeah, it's just Meo. Just hashtag just Meo things.
It's Meo things, yeah. And he beat Maru right after Maru, like, won his second GSL or something like that. It was mad. But, yes, we are, speaking of mad, jumping into our second game of this best of 3 series, and it is going to be inside and out, or inside and I think I messed up the placement of the or there. In the top right hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right hand corner, and we of course have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is the craziest Terran player in all of South Korea, representing Prep Esports. I'm gonna give a very big head scratch, I guess, for HonMonO.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player himself, the king of Southeast Asia, the best player in all of Southeast Asia. Going for the pool first once again. It is MeomaikA. What
time is it over there in Europe? Just imagine Cyril waking up in cold sweat like, ah, Ultras!
There's a Zerg player out there doing things that should not be done. What is happening? There's a disturbance.
In my image.
There's a disturbance in the force. Oh my god. But yeah.
And it's not Raynor doing it.
Again, I should say this as, oh my god, we see a pull first, and this time we see a commitment to the pull first because of Roach Horn is thrown down behind this. What I was gonna say is that there are a lot of people that haven't been introduced to MeomaikA before. We have casted MeomaikA countless times. There are countless VODs on our YouTube channel of him, but a lot of that was in 2019 and 2020. Like, that was where the brunt of MeomaikA competing really was.
That was before Papa Calibre came and blessed the Zergmuta Triangle with the Juggernauts.
Yeah, that was before the Juggernauts, and MeomaikA took a little bit of time off last year, a little bit, but now he is back. You know, he's the representative in DreamHack Valencia. He qualified for Story Cup, he qualified for TSL. Like, he's been doing a great job at representing Southeast Asia and finally hitting that world stage, and this is the kind of stuff that he does. But yo, this is such an important scout.
Indeed it is. HonMonO, now that he sees a Roach Warren, he knows MeomaikA's not going to commit to that. so he's gonna have to be preparing back home.
Exactly.
Again, HonMonO and MeomaikA, they do play against each other semi-often.
They do. I mean, we did have a CC on the high ground once again, so HonMonO playing it safe. We have a bunker already on the way, a second bunker as well. Ooh, he's being bamboozled a little bit here because MeomaikA, because he got scouted, he is droning behind this. He is looking to transition. He only made 3 roaches, and we'll see if he even morphs in any Ravagers. Again, it's all about the fear factor. It's all about trying to force a response out of your opponent.
And a response has been had over here. HonMonO doesn't seem like he's overcommitting too much, which I definitely appreciate. He's still going for his 1-1-1. I'm surprised there's high ground vision here.
Yeah, the Overlord. Wow, the Overlord barely dips in, and because of that, a depot goes down. We see a cancel on that bunker as well. It was a cancel, not a kill. But again, a very light commitment here from MeomaikA. If he didn't get scouted, I'm sure he would have committed more. But because he did get scouted, again, we just ruined.
Yeah. Drone so hard. Get a third base. Of course, he is a little bit vulnerable if HonMonO decides to take matters into his own hands, go across the map with his Cyclone and Banshee. Loving this from HonMonO. He definitely is looking to reciprocate the damage.
Yeah.
I got the word right this time.
Good job. There we go. Exactly, he went into a 1-1-1 from his CC. He's going for a third CC behind this, and there isn't that much that can deal with a Banshee because of the awkward opener. We'll see if MeomaikA can get some eyes on this. Because he's playing in the dark and because he's playing blind, I would assume he would throw down some spores, but we'll see as MeomaikA is making quite a large number of lings.
Yeah, a lot more than I was really expecting from him after getting that third base.
Oh yeah.
That Cyclone just used its lock on, by the way. There is no tank, but there is a Banshee, and nothing shoots up over here.
Ooh, nothing shoots up. The Banshee's gonna make short work of all these Ravagers. They're gonna get a couple of more files, and they will connect with the Banshee. Barely don't get it.
Yeah, but you know what they do get? 9 SCVs. That entire mineral line of HonMonO is forfeit, and now HonMonO has to make a choice. Does he, try to cut his losses and really commit hard to macroing out from this position, or does he counterattack? Exactly. It looks like he's going for the former.
It's a really difficult choice to make, right? Because your Banshee can do a lot of damage across the map, but if the Ravagers show up again, then, I mean, you need it, honestly. You need it to defend, especially without a tank. The first tank is on the way, but it's still on the way nonetheless. Meanwhile, MeomaikA isn't taking any chances. He is getting a spore in every single one of his bases. He is droning up again, not committing to any kind of aggression. He still has a bunch of lings that are left over, and he will reveal them to these Banshees.
Yeah, he's kind of distracting the Banshee a little bit. I mean, he can't really get much done over here. But like you said, he pretty much has full map control with his lings. He's getting ready for the Banshees back at home. I have to wonder if we'll see an ultra greedy MeomaikA come out again, and I guess it was a Freudian slip there because I I wouldn't mind seeing the ultras again from him.
Yeah, he's going for the same style. We have 1-1 on the way because he's anticipating a 3cc follow-up, which he actually scouted. Looking at his vision, he did see that third cc. He knows that he can be greedy enough to go for this. I say that he's being greedy and going for double Evo chambers, but that's if he was also going for banelings, but he's not, just because of how he plays. So like, this is just, you know, MeomaikA in his comfort zone.
Yeah, it's like he won the lottery, but then he also burned half of the money.
What?
He's in a good position, but he's not, you know, making it as good.
Yeah. He's in a good position, but, you know, it's kind of what he was going to go for anyway. Meanwhile, double drop does get spotted here. Ling's going to force a bit of a pickup. Do see a scan into the main base. Again, we're trying to see what the tech is, and he confirms, so he should see there's still no lair tech here for MeomaikA.
Or is there? No, there actually isn't, yeah. I may have mistook the hatchery in the production tab for a lair.
Yeah, I did as well. There we go. The lair does begin. A little bit late, but as long as the lair is in time for 2-2, I mean, it's all going to be fine. And meanwhile, the Lings are having a hard time dealing with these drops. And because there is no lair, that also means that there are no Hydras to try and deal with these drops or even with the Banshee.
Yeah, despite all the Lings out, MeomaikA really can't make use of them. He really can't get that map control that he wants. So HonMonO back home, he's just macroing up. He's just getting his production facilities. I wouldn't be too surprised if he decides to get a fourth base pretty soon. Because there's nothing really threatening him.
Yeah, exactly. We say that, but here we go. The Lings are now moving out across the map. 1-1 is about to finish up, so MeomaikA wants to hit this timing as soon as possible. Tanks are set up here at the natural, but that third base is looking a little bit vulnerable, and MeomaikA just goes straight for the Mineral Lion.
Yeah, there is a tank, but oh, that friendly fire! Oh, the SCVs evaporated in a single explosion. 9 have gone down. I have a feeling it's more than that.
Yeah, 9 went down as well as all the mules that were there as well. Meanwhile, 2-2 starts up as soon as the lair is finished. We are still working with 2 gases though, so... And MeomaikA actually threw down a Baneling nest. Oh my god.
I mean... That's gotta be just for display, right?
Maybe it was supposed to be a Hydra then.
No, he threw it down before the lair. Yeah, and he's getting Baneling speed. MeomaikA, he's evolving.
Exactly. He's crazy. You never know what he's gonna do. One game he goes Ling Hydra. The next game he's actually making a Baneling nest. He's cracked, mate. And here we go. The Ling's gonna force the pickup once again. Doom drop going all the way into the main base. Triple drop. Even the spore actually stops that from happening.
Wow.
Wow.
I was not anticipating MeomaikA to be that prepared.
Yeah,
for being honest.
It's already set up for it, mate. But here we go. HonMonO has been slowly building up that tank out. Looking at the units here, 4 tanks already out for HonMonO. This is going to be a very strong push, especially without Banelings, especially without Baneling speed.
Yeah, 12 of them on the way right now. He still has to wait another 20 or so seconds for Baneling speed to finish up and for all these Banelings to be ready to attack. There's a Spire on the way, and there is also the Infestation Pit, so if MeomaikA survives this, he's going to be sitting very pretty when it comes to tech, but that's definitely a pretty big if. Banelings are slow and they're moving off creep!
Oh my god.
And they're clumping up!
They're clumping up, but you know what? We saw a massive surround here by all those Lings. The tanks go down one after the other. The Marines are going to be able to stand strong, but they cannot chase on creep. They cannot deal with all these Banes.
Especially now that Baneling speed has just finished up for MeomaikA. You know, without having that tank backbone, it's really difficult for a Terran player, a Bio-Terran player, to push into the defenses of Zerg.
Yeah, exactly. I was so impressed with how MeomaikA was able to deal with that. Meanwhile, we do see the Marines still getting a little bit of value, but again, with those speed Banes, they're forced to pick up and get the hell out of here. And oh, the reinforcements for HonMonO are being caught out a little bit.
Yeah, Medivac's just not quite in position to pick many of them up. The tanks!
No! The missed rally. The tanks get caught in the middle of the map as well. The parade push was not meant to be here for HonMonO. Meanwhile, the drop does hit the right-hand base here for MeomaikA, but he doesn't care. He double expanded.
Yeah, once again, channeling his inner house. The SCVs will be going down once again. 19 of them. I'm not even sure I want to look at the unit's lost tab light.
I'm not sure if I want to either. Sure, MeomaikA loses the base, but again, he expanded on the left-hand side as well. 20 SCVs have gone down. HonMonO didn't just lose all those workers, he lost every single one of his tanks.
Ay. HonMonO is very much crippled here, economically and also in terms of army. He has one tank, and that's protecting his natural and his cert base. He's not going to be able to make any big moves on the map.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying. He has to because of the position he's in. MeomaikA has already got a Hive. He's got Adrenal on the way. 3-3 going to be on the way soon. The one thing that MeomaikA doesn't have is creep spread. He's connecting his bases, but because this HonMonO is going to be able to move around the map without being scouted too easily, but there's still just so much here on the ground, and this push isn't going to find any damage.
Yeah. Thankfully for HonMonO, though, nothing shoots up right now for MeomaikA.
True. Yeah, he has the Spire from earlier, but he hasn't really invested in it. He hasn't gone for any AR upgrades. He hasn't made any mutants. He hasn't made any corruptors either. He's just pure Bane.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is supply capped for the time being, so maybe he's just waiting for these overloads, but yeah, it's, again, kind of surprising that he's not getting those AR upgrades or anything.
I love this as well. MeomaikA's anticipating a multi-prong attack, hitting his freshest base. There isn't, because HonMonO just doesn't have the supply, but MeomaikA, he is already pre-splitting his army just in case that were to happen. Meanwhile, here we go, Adrenal finishing up. Last game, we saw MeomaikA went into an Ultra Cavern. So far, we still don't see any other tech. This is the crazy thing about Meo. Again, at the highest level of play, just Ling Bane, that's all you need.
Yeah. Get good with those fundamental units.
True.
You know, it's like man with gun.
Yeah. Man with gun. If MeomaikA was Terran, he would make nothing but Marines and somehow make it work. It's crazy.
No, I feel like MeomaikA would be the type to mass Raven.
He'd mass Reaper.
He would mass Reapers, yeah.
He would be Ziggy. It's he'd be Ziggy on crack, mate. Meanwhile, no, a couple of queens getting caught out here. The only anti-air that MeomaikA had. But again, this push on the right-hand side, we already had a split-up arm. We see a little bit of a run by here, and it looks like MeomaikA dies on top of a tank.
Actually going to be able to take one of them out, but HonMonO definitely still has quite a number of tanks this time. So that tank count did not get reset, but I tell you what did get reset. The bases.
The bases, mate. HonMonO is still on 4 bases. He's struggling to get a 4th up and running. He's working on his own 3-3, so very similar to last game where HonMonO, despite being down, he is just so on top of his upgrades. He does not let up on his production. He is still fighting his heart out. He still believes in a comeback. And maybe he can if the army of MeomaikA stays as kind of primal as it is.
2 more factories? Question mark? Coming up from HonMonO. Very good splits here off of creep. Most of these banelings do not connect. Very efficient trait by HonMonO once again, but yeah, he's definitely starting to run out of resources, which is why it's so surprising to me that he threw down 2 more factories.
Yeah, like, does he really have the income to really sustain all of that production? We shall see. Meanwhile, the army gets kited all the way back home. HonMonO still cannot land that CC, and MeomaikA still doesn't make anything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, as well upgraded as these units are from MeomaikA, you know, he's got Adrenal and 3-3 and whatnot. He needs to do one of 2 things. Either A, spread creep everywhere on the map, or B, tech up. You know, get a Greater Spire or an Ultra Cavern or a something.
I thought you were going to say he needs to do one, A move, which is what he's doing. Or try to find a way to A move. Here we go. The Ling Bane is overwhelming everything that HonMonO has. The numbers are just in favor of Meo. The tanks go down. The Banelings are rolling on it. Look how many links there are on the screen, Yaku.
It's lagging my PC. My frames have dropped from 80 to 40.
Oh my god.
Just like that.
The frames are dropping, the SCVs are dropping. I love you even if you hate me. GG.
MeomaikA takes that series 2-0, and really, was there anything more we could have asked for from a match between MeomaikA and HonMonO?
GG, well played. Congratulations to MeomaikA. Shout out to HonMonO as well, giving some hearts out there towards the end. You know, not being a sore loser or anything like that. Yeah, it was really cool to see, and an amazing series here. Again, something you don't get to see often. MeomaikA up against a Terran that can kind of go blow for blow with him in different ways.
Up against a Terran player who can go blow for blow against him in different ways, and winning. I think that's important to keep in mind at the end of all that.
GG, well played. HonMonO is knocked out of this tournament, out of today's tournament, so my heart goes out to him. Feels bad, man, feels bad. But, you know, it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the way the tournament goes. There is no double elimination bracket today. You know, your one life is all you have, and MeomaikA moves on to the next round where he already has an opponent waiting for him.
Indeed, he does. This opponent has been waiting for quite some time. He was able to dispatch Airrock Fire pretty early in today's bracket. Christiana is currently waiting in that quarterfinal match to go up against MeomaikA in a PvZ.
Wow, here we go. I mean, now we can finally take a moment here as the players conduct their vetoes. We can take a moment to go over the bracket itself. We had a pretty large bracket, similarly to last week, and players from all over the world signed up.